Real-life incidents are frequently used as inspiration for horror films. Whether it's the narrative of the devil come to life, real-life ghosts haunting, random psychopaths wielding chainsaws, or huge sharks, these are the real-life stories Hollywood chose to terrify us with the most. These incredible horror films are far more realistic than you'd think. So here are the top 10 best horror movies based on true stories. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified by the latest videos. At number 10, The Exorcist. Many audiences were horrified when The Exorcist was released because of its explicit depiction of exorcism. However, if any in the audience had realized the film was based on a book inspired by true events, they could have been even more surprised. In 1949, a boy named Roland Doe was said to be possessed with demons. It occurred after his aunt died. In Roland's presence, the boy's family heard unusual noises and observed furniture move or objects fly through the air. The exorcism practice proved to be so terrifying that many who observed it felt driven to write about their experiences. At number 9, Open Water. Open Water is a wonderful demonstration of how a horror film does not have to place hapless people against insane and masked figures. Rather, being a victim of circumstance is typically the scariest condition. What begins as a sunny day, scuba diving in the beautiful blue seas of the Bahamas, quickly becomes frightening when a couple is left behind and forced to face the inevitabilities of the lowering sky, as well as what lurks beneath them. Based on the actual event of Tom and Eileen Lonergan, who were abandoned on a dive adventure around the Great Barrier Reef, the couple was stuck for 2 days before anybody on the fishing vessel realized they had unaccounted for guests. At number 8, The Haunting in Connecticut. The Haunting in Connecticut is a unique film in the haunted house horror genre. A family must make their new house work because of its proximity to the hospital when they have a sick child with cancer. But some secrets surround the house's original purpose as a mortuary and the souls stored inside its walls. The film is based on the 1986 lawsuit filed by the Snedeker family of Southington, Connecticut, who claimed that mortuary employees had practiced necromancy on the bodies. At number 7, A Nightmare on Elm Street. A Nightmare on Elm Street established the horrific concept of a killer, Freddy, visiting young people's nightmares. According to the director, he got the idea for the storyline after reading an article about a young immigrant child who had horrific nightmares after arriving in America from Cambodia. The youngster said that if he went to sleep, the monsters hunting him would kill him in his dreams. In the end, he died in his sleep, as did many of the people in the film. At number 6, Child's Play. Child's Play is an undoubted 1980s classic. Robert Eugene Otto, a writer and painter, had the doll as a youngster. According to his parents, little Otto would communicate with the doll and the doll would respond. They further claimed it could run from one room to the next. While it was never really revealed what was going on with the doll, the film provided its vision of the frightening occurrences. At number 5, The Hills Have Eyes. This film about cannibals was inspired by Sawney Bean's family, a tribe of cannibals in medieval Scotland. Over 1,000 individuals are thought to have been killed and devoured by the tribe of 48. We don't know how overblown their escapes were, but Wes Craven put their narrative in modern Nevada. The film is notable for its connections to previous horror films and has since become a cult classic in its own right. At number 4, Birds. In this movie, birds attack people for no apparent reason. Something similarly terrifying but less extreme probably occurred in California in 1961. A swarm of birds began crashing into people's homes near Monterey Bay, frightening them. It's unknown what triggered the behavior, and similarly, the film didn't explain what caused the birds to behave in this manner. Because the heroes had no clue what to do, the situation became a lot worse. At number 3, Poltergeist. The film Poltergeist is about a family that is plagued by the titular spirit. Finally, the poltergeist abducts the parents' youngest daughter. To some extent, the plot is based on the reality. In 1958, a New York family witnessed furniture moving, bottles exploding, and other bizarre occurrences in their house. Fortunately for the family, it all came to an end after only 2 months. Any horror fan would know items that move mysteriously are common indicators of a poltergeist presence. At number 2, The Conjuring. Most people worked in the standard occupations and have no idea what it's like to work as ghost and demon experts. That's precisely what Ed and Lorraine Warren accomplished. Ed and Lorraine attempted to save a family from demonic spirits in the first film, inspired by their practice. The story starts in 1971 when the Perron family moves into a Rhode Island farmhouse. They began to hear weird noises and saw ghosts in the house. The family stayed in the same home until 1980. Ed and Lorraine paid them many visits to examine what was going on, but Roger Perron, the family's father, requested them to leave after they staged a seance in the house. Even when it comes to adversaries, The Conjuring has a strong grounding in reality in terms of horror flicks. And at number 1, The Conjuring 2. The Warrens' investigation into the tragic situation was not their first. Another of their cases was documented in The Conjuring 2. This time, they were assisting a single mother and her children whose home was experiencing weird events. The true story took place in the 1970s in Peggy Hodgson's family in London. It began with weird noises and progressed to the presence of a poltergeist. Ed and Lorraine paid a visit to the family but were unable to resolve the issue. Well guys, that's it for this one. What'd you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. If you're new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.